Luanshya, Mufulira, Kalulushi, Chingola, Chililabombwe, Kapiriamposhi, Kabwe, Lusaka, Katfiwe, Choma, Mazabuka, Livingston, Chipata, Chinsali, Kasama, Mansa, Solwezi, and Mongu. Feel free to interact with us and let us know where you are watching from. Only on your Top Star Decoders Channel 91, Sun FM TV. Radio Gone Rogue. Radio Gone TV.
The news.
Hello, with the news, my name is Imelda Chikwati. Government says Zambia's mining sector has recorded strong performance in the first half of 2026, with copper production increasing by 0.45%. The Council of Churches in Zambia, Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, and the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops have urged political parties to translate the National Peace Pledge into practical actions ahead of the August 13 general elections and beyond. The United Nations has reaffirmed its solidarity with Zambia as the country prepares for the August 13 general elections. The Chipolopolo will begin their Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Pamoja 2027 qualification campaign with an away fixture against Algeria before hosting Togo in September.
The news. 88.5 Sun FM.
The news in detail. The Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development says Zambia's mining sector has recorded a strong performance in the first copper production increasing by 0.45%. Permanent Secretary Dr. Hapenga Kabeta disclosed that aggregate copper output rose from 445,175 metric tons in 2025 to 447,181 metric tons this year, signaling renewed growth driven by reforms and increased investment. He noted that improved production at Kansanshi, Konkola Copper Mines, KCM, Lumwana, Lubambe, Sentinel, and Mufulira contributed to the gains, while Mopani and NFC Africa Mining recorded marginal declines due to planned maintenance and operational challenges. Ministry Media Unit reports that Dr. Kabeta said gold production increased by 10.94%, cobalt output rose by 17.89%, nickel surged by 143%, manganese jumped by 287%, and coal production grew by 14.13%, reflecting rising domestic and export demand. He attributed the growth to ongoing reforms, including the formalization of artisanal and small-scale mining, training of over 600 cooperatives, and implementation of local content regulations, which have already onboarded 76 mining companies onto the electronic compliance system. He also disclosed that the country's high-resolution airborne geophysical survey has reached 87.5% national coverage, with completion expected before the end of 2026. The permanent secretary, however, expressed concern over a 35.2% decline in small-scale copper production, citing inadequate domestic supplies and sulfuric acid and the delayed end of the rainy season. He appealed to producers of sulfuric acid to prioritize the local market before exports, stressing that both Mopani and small-scale miners have been negatively affected. Out of 818 applications considered by the newly established Mineral Regulation Commission, 444 were approved, including 305 artisanal mining rights reserved for Zambian citizens, while 316 were deferred and 58 rejected for failing to meet statutory requirements.
To seize the existing opportunities in the global critical minerals value chains, government has put in place interventions which include critical and strategic minerals legal framework. The development of the critical and strategic minerals regulations has reached an advanced stage with provincial stakeholder engagements on the draft regulations which are scheduled to take place in August and September ready. As mentioned, the objective of the regulations is to accelerate in-country mineral beneficiation and value addition to critical minerals through processing raw materials to higher value products to enhance economic growth, industrialization, and social economic development.
The Council of Churches in Zambia, CCZ, Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, AFZ, and the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops, ZCCB, have urged the political parties to translate the National Peace Pledge into practical actions ahead of the August 13 general elections and beyond. Speaking at the signing ceremony today, where political party leaders came together to endorse the document, the church mother bodies described the pledge as a covenant to reject violence, uphold the rule of law, respect democratic values, and place the interests of Zambia above political differences. Delivering a joint statement, CCZ President Reverend Axon Banda said the pledge is a positive step as it publicly demonstrates political parties' commitment to peace and rejection of hate speech through peaceful conduct. He stressed that the true value of the pledge will be measured by what follows after the signing, noting that peace cannot be seasonal. Reverend Banda called on citizens, especially young people, to exercise wisdom and restraint and to reject being used as instruments of violence. He emphasized that maintaining peace is not only the responsibility of political leaders, but requires the participation of every citizen.
And as a Christian nation, let us demonstrate the love of Christ by promoting peace, respecting one another, protecting the dignity of every person, and working together for the common good. Finally, we call upon all churches across the country to continue praying earnestly for peaceful, free, fair, and credible elections. Let every congregation become a beacon of hope, reconciliation, and peace within.
Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ Chairperson Mangala Zalomis commended the church mother bodies for convening the ceremony, saying peace is essential for a credible electoral process. She explained that without peace, citizens cannot freely exercise their constitutional right to vote, political parties cannot campaign freely, and the media cannot disseminate information without intimidation and fear. Ms. Zalomis urged all stakeholders to familiarize themselves with the Electoral Code of Conduct and uphold peace throughout the electoral process.
Tolerance towards political opponents and political competition and responsible leadership are essential ingredients of peaceful and credible elections. To the political leaders gathered here today, and I've heard quite a number of political parties who are here, your words carry influence, and your actions shape the behavior.
Meanwhile, the United Nations has reaffirmed its solidarity with Zambia as the country prepares for the August 13 general elections. UN Resident Coordinator Beatrice Mutali commended political parties and their leaders for participating in the peace pledge signing ceremony, saying the decision demonstrates that they have placed the interests of the Zambian people above political differences. She stressed that the pledge must not remain a mere document, but should be reflected through peaceful actions before, during, and after the elections.
Has earned regional respect from its tradition of peaceful democratic transitions. As Africa continues to seek examples of peaceful political engagement, Zambia can once again demonstrate that political competition and national unity are mutually reinforcing. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the United Nations, I reaffirm our solidarity and commitment to continue working alongside the government, the church mother bodies, political parties, other institutions, civil society, and all stakeholders in
Representing political parties, Ambassador Joyce Musenge said political competition must never be a justification for violence. She urged the parties and their supporters to conduct peaceful campaigns, emphasizing that elections come and go, but the nation remains. Ambassador Musenge added that the peace pledge is more than a symbolic gesture, noting that peaceful elections require concerted efforts from all stakeholders.
Of Zambia's political parties at this very important national pledge, peace pledge signing ceremony. I must say, when the three church mother bodies came to see us as ZCID, we were not very sure that it could be this successful. Thank you so much for having had the confidence that we can bring together all the political leaders that are in this room. Today, we gather not.
His Royal Highness Chief Fwambo of Mbala District also appealed to political parties and their supporters to conduct themselves peacefully as Zambia heads toward the polls. He said Zambia is one nation that must be cherished, underscoring the importance of dialogue, respect, and coexistence. Chief Fwambo urged young people not to be used as tools of violence, but to become ambassadors of peace and unity, stressing that while elections come and go, Zambia remains.
We need to safeguard that. We need to go by that. We are identified by the peace that we've enjoyed in Zambia. This reputation has been built over generations through respect for one another, strong community leadership, and a shared commitment to national unity. It is now our
Assistant Director is here. Also the Zambia Center for Persons with Disabilities, thank you for coming. Further, we recognize other constitutional bodies like the Human Rights Commission, the Zambia Police.
The Ministry of Health has reaffirmed its commitment to promoting breastfeeding as a cornerstone of child development and public health. Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Dr. Kennedy Lishimpi, said government has given special attention to breastfeeding, describing it as the only way to develop a child's brain and ensure a healthier life. Dr. Lishimbi emphasized that the growth and future potential of children lies in their mother's milk, adding that government is working hard to support breastfeeding for the betterment of the nation's children. He stressed that breastfeeding provides both nutrition and brain development, equipping children with a stronger foundation for the future. The PS was speaking during the official launch of World Breastfeeding Week 2026, held under the theme Breastfeeding for a Sustainable Smart Start in Life, Strengthen What Works.
Breastfeeding is not only a maternal responsibility, but a national priority and a global imperative that guarantees a safe start in life. Our Constitution guarantees the right to food for all citizens, with special emphasis on children. For children to grow and reach their full potential, they must receive the right foods at the right time. The most critical window for nutrition is the first 1,000 days of life, from conception to a child's second birthday.
Churches Health Association of Zambia chairperson Karen Sichali, speaking on behalf of the World Health Organization and the National Food Nutrition Commission, said breastfeeding must be encouraged alongside the use of digital platforms that provide information and medical advice to mothers. She highlighted the JO2 Zambia Against Hunger program, noting that technology can enhance awareness and support for breastfeeding practices.
The benefits are well documented. For infants, breastfeeding provides complete nutrition, strengthens immunity, and lowers the risk of diarrheal diseases and pneumonia, among the leading causes of child death. For mothers, it reduces the risk of postpartum hemorrhage and lowers the lifetime risk of breast and ovarian cancer, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases.
Meanwhile, Ministry of Labor and Social Security Permanent Secretary Zakaria Luhanga commended Zambia's achievement of 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding as a milestone worth sustaining and urged mothers to continue the practice.
Without any deduction from paid working hours. So if there's any employer who is abrogating this, please let us know. Number 6, protection from dismissal on grounds of pregnancy or breastfeeding. These provisions, among others, demonstrate our government's commitment to creating family-friendly workplaces where mothers can continue breastfeeding after returning to work.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has called on young people on the Copperbelt province to participate meaningfully in the country's electoral process. Speaking during the official opening of the Youth Conference in Ndola, Provincial Electoral Officer Shaft Musaka, in a speech delivered on his behalf by Ndola District Electoral Officer George Mulenga, said active youth involvement is key to promoting and strengthening democracy nationwide. He emphasized that the voice of young people is vital not only during elections, but at every stage of the electoral process. Mr. Musaka highlighted that the Constitution Amendment Act No. 13 of 2025 introduced 40 proportional representation seats in Parliament, comprising 20 for women, 15 for youths, and 5 for persons with disabilities, creating greater opportunities for inclusive representation. He encouraged the youths to stay informed through credible news outlets, social media platforms, and community radio stations.
That is, the facilitators will take you through this process of how the quota will be arrived at. You need to understand that these seats, the 40, law will guide these political parties as provided for on how they should choose the women according to the percentage they've been given, and the youth as well as persons with disabilities. I urge you to educate yourselves using the wealth of information available to you through the various news outlets, social media, and community radio stations.
Meanwhile, youths attending the conference commended the ECZ for organizing the event, describing it as an important platform for educating young people on their civic and electoral responsibilities. They said the conference had enhanced their understanding of the electoral process and inspired them to participate more actively in Zambia's democracy.
Conference has taught us a lot of things, starting from the electoral process, how it goes about. From actually, previously, our understanding was that the electoral process starts during campaigns. Now we've been impacted with the knowledge that the electoral process actually starts way before by announcing the limitation. Like I impacted with some other knowledges, whereby it will be easier for us to even cooperate with other political parties.
First and foremost, I'm glad that I had to meet other political other political party members from NRPU as well as Socialist and some other organizations. I'm glad that I met them. Through that interaction, actually, it begins from there. So the information that we're getting from ECZ is the same information that our fellows are also getting. As we know each other, we're also knowing their people and their members, and by so doing, we are creating a community.
The Mine Workers Union of Zambia (MUS) has signed a Memorandum of Understanding MOU with Sanco Solar of South Africa and Monasa Advisory and Associates of Namibia to accelerate the development of utility-scale renewable energy projects in Zambia. Phase 1 of the partnership, valued at $100 million, will focus on meeting the growing electricity demands of the mining and industrial sectors. The initial project pipeline includes a 120-megawatt solar photovoltaic plant in the Copper Belt and a 100-megawatt solar plant near Lusaka to support mining sector electricity off-takers. Phase 1 will be implemented on Moses' 120-hectare Mukuba farm in Moflera and is expected to be completed within 18 months. Regulatory approvals have already been secured from the Energy Regulation Board (ERB), and a power purchase agreement has been concluded with Zasco Limited. Speaking after the signing ceremony during the MUS 16th Quadrennial Conference in Livingston, MUS President Joseph Chewa described the partnership as a bold step towards securing a sustainable energy future for Zambia's mining industry.
The mines of Zambia, in collaboration with the partners that are seated here, we have just signed a memorandum of understanding to develop a 120 mega solar plant in the Mufulira, Copper Belt province. This is to respond to President Jaka that citizens must participate in resolving some of the challenges, particularly in the energy. We are aware that all the miners are affected in terms of having energy at household level, and also the deficit for industrial use. So Mining of Zambia listened to the core, and we started also engaging our partners.
Sanco Solar's Wentworth said his company will provide renewable energy project development and independent power producer expertise.
From inception through to construction and operation, time frame is approximately 18 months, and the estimated budget for this project is in the region of 100 million US dollars for phase one. And then we are also looking at phase two, which will be a similar size project, which we will bring online in the next 2 years.
While Monasa Advisory and Associates representative Jason Kasuto noted that his firm will offer transaction advisory, commercial coordination, stakeholder facilitation, and financial support.
We are happy to have been serving the Mine Workers Union of Zambia in order to bring the capital that is required and the technical expertise to realize the solar project. We did not arrive here on our own. We, of course, leveraged with our relationship with the Mine Workers Union of Namibia, as well as its commercial arm, NAMIC, who will also be participating as an equity shareholder in the project and part of the pool of investors. So our role was really to do, as for what we stand, is to bring capital to productive areas of the economy. Energy is a very big focus, and we aim to ensure that Zambia's energy deficit is also mitigated through a project of this nature. So right partnerships, right capital.
MOOS will leverage its strong relationships with the mining industry to facilitate labor, community, and institutional engagement, ensuring local participation remains central to project implementation. This is according to a statement issued by MOOS coordinator and public relations officer Michael Kaluba. This is the news on Sun FM Radio and TV. We take a break.
Voting is one of the few moments where we all have a voice.
One person, one vote.
No titles, no status.
Just a choice.
It's not about doing nothing.
It's about showing up.
Because your vote matters.
It's easy.
It's important.
It's ours. Count me in.
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 In sports news, the Chipolo Polo will begin their Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Pamoja 2027 qualification campaign with an away fixture against Algeria before hosting Togo in September. Zambia will face the Desert Foxes during the FIFA window from 21st September to 16th October before welcoming Togo in the same period. Match days 3 and 4, scheduled for 9th to 17th November, will see Zambia host Burundi before traveling to Bujumbura for the return leg. The final Group I fixture in March 2027 will pit Zambia against Algeria at home before concluding away to Togo. With the National Hero Stadium nearing completion, the Chipolo Polo could make a grand return to their fortress after 4 years of playing qualifiers at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. Coach George Lwandamina, assisted by Oswald Mutapa, will lead the team, having previously been part of the technical bench when Zambia last faced Algeria in Blida in 2019. In other sports news, Team Zambia has celebrated its first medals at the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games. Boxer Catherine Mwape made history by becoming the first Zambian female boxer to win a medal at the Games, claiming bronze in the women's 54 kg category. Her achievement also marked Zambia's first medal of the tournament. In the men's 65 kg category, Emmanuel Katema added another bronze after a hard-fought semi-final against England's Patrice Mugazai. Sprinter Edna Ngandula suffered disappointment in the women's 200-meter semi-final, where she was disqualified despite crossing the line second with a personal best of 23.50 seconds. She will now turn her focus to the mixed 4x400 meters relay, aiming to help Zambia secure further success in Glasgow. Now to end the news, the headlines once again. Government says Zambia's mining sector has recorded strong performance in the first half of 2026, with the copper production increasing by 0.45%. The Council of Churches in Zambia, Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, and the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops have urged the political parties to translate the National Peace Pledge into practical actions ahead of the August 13 general elections and beyond. The United Nations has reaffirmed its solidarity with Zambia as the country prepares for the August 13 general elections. The Chipolopolo will begin their Total Energies CAF Africa Cup of Nations Pamoja 2027 qualification campaign with an away fixture against Algeria before hosting Togo in September. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. My name is Imelda Chukwati. Stay tuned.
Sun FM.
We came, we saw, we conquered, and we continue to grow. Watch what you hear. Radio Gone TV. Sun FM.